And welcome back to the channel, guys. What we have here is a John Deere 320 Snow Thrower. Picked this up a couple weeks ago because we've been having snow and I just wanted to try one of these guys out, but it's been useless to me because it doesn't work. So what we're going to do today is pull this cap off, which is this thing, big thing here, get to the engine, and we can see if we can get this to run. So here's the inner workings. That right there is our carburetor. Here's our fuel tank. There is where we can test for ignition. And I mean, really isn't much to this thing, because really what it does, if I'm not mistaken, once you pull this thing runs. There's no throttle, or there's no clutch, there's no throttle at all. All it does is you start it up and it goes. So what we're gonna do first, let me see if I can pull the spark plug off. I want to check for spark, and then what we'll do is drain the fuel, and then we will pull the carburetor off. That's part of the reason it looks like it's leaking. It's actually leaking right in here. I'm not sure where, but I do need to clean this up before I try to start it. So let's start there. Spark plug, fuel, carburetor. Pretty wet, so it looks like fuel's been leaking into the cylinder for a while. I'm going to go ahead and test for spark. I think that is on. Get that back in there. Well, that right there could be a problem. That's actually to the ignition switch. Yes. So it broke. Let me see. Let me see if I can hotwire this real quick. Or at the very least, can I pull this? I might be able to pull that out of there. Both of those out of there and redo the crimps. So let me go ahead, let me pull those out real quick. There's one. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to push that through. Let's see if I can. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, that should be enough. Nothing else, all I'm doing is just gonna hook it right in here. This is only gonna be temporary. Come back to it later. It's a little farther apart so that they're not so close. Alright, shall we see if we get some spark? Alright, just gotta find something I can ground it to. I wonder if it'll just do it off of this. Nope, let's try it off of this. Yep, we got spark. Let's see, can I see it in the camera? Yep, alright, so we do have spark. Alright, so the fuel tank looks like it's being held on by some of these tie straps. So we're just going to cut these off. I can get some more later. I can't tell, these don't look like they're reusables. So, alright. I might need some pliers. It's empty. Go ahead and pull this off too. fuel line's cracked too. Come on. Well, it comes off right there. Oh, and that fuel line's cracked. Looks like I'm replacing some fuel lines on this guy. There it goes. All right. That still looks good. No cracks, nothing. Fuel tank's good. All right, I'm not sure I got enough light in there, but we're gonna go ahead and take the carburetor off now. One of these tools might come in handy. I actually just picked this up today at the local swap meet. If you're looking for cheap tools, I only got this thing for $1. Hit up your flea markets, any type of swap meet that you have in town. Usually some decent tools. I think this is a Stanley, what does it say? Stanley number 671. You can get these for pretty cheap from some people if they sell tools. Not necessarily the case in some places, but it depends on your area. So let's go ahead and just get this guy off because of the angle this thing's at. This is going to take a while. There's that one. That one. Sweet. Let's take the cable off. Might have to hit it with a drill. Stay. Oh, I guess not. Looks like there's a governor on the bottom. There's a governor. I don't think it's going to get picked up on camera, but you can see my hand, it's sitting right in here. I can't tell what is holding it in place. It's in an angle that I can't see. Oh, lovely. Alright, so there's a retaining clip on this one. There's something holding it on that one. I just can't see it. Let me see if I can get a better angle. So, stand by. Alright, so it actually just broke loose on me, but I didn't actually break it. So here is that piece I was referring to, held on here at the bottom. So it sits, you should see it was sitting like this, and then there is a green piece. There's actually a spring sitting right here in the back. Am I seeing it? Yeah, there's right here in the back, and it's just making sure that this thing doesn't over rev. So it's sitting right in there. So let's go ahead, I'm gonna take this hose off. Let's move over to my table and we'll start disassembling this guy. I'd say that is toast. Yeah, there is nothing left on that one. Needle still looks really good. That right there could be a problem. There's a ton of stuff in there. Or is it, oh, that just the, oh no, that is, look at all that. There's a ton of junk in that filter. That could have been part of the problem why this thing finally died. But I think as we can see on some of these gaskets, they're just toast. I'm gonna have to get a I'm gonna have to get a repair kit for this in order for it to run even again. I think even on I'm not even gonna be able to save any of these gaskets. So what I'll probably do is I'll go ahead and pull these. Actually, no. That might still work, but at this point, looking at the diaphragm and looking at all these some other things, I'm probably just gonna need to get a repair kit for this. But since we've got it out, we'll go ahead. I'm gonna finish pulling a couple of other things off. Probably pull these guys, the adjustment screws off, and then I've got my ultrasonic cleaner here. We'll just dunk it in there for about a couple minutes to get some of the debris off. So let's go ahead and take our bucket of parts and we will throw it in here. Just put it center. It's just a light mixture of purple power and extremely hot water. So let's set this puppy to, let's give it 20 minutes and power her up. Such a lovely sound. So it would appear we are done. Let's go ahead and pop the top here. Get a little bit steamy. Look like they're clean. Let's go ahead and bring it over here. All right, so there really isn't much that we can do right now because I don't have the repair kit, but we can at least see what these look like. Let me actually put a towel down because I just cleaned those off and I don't want them to get dirty again. I actually did a decent job, at least on the outside. Plastic actually lived through it. I believe that's the choke. And that's your governor. So it looks like those did all right through the ultrasonic cleaner. These actually fared pretty well. And other than a little bit of surface grime that wasn't knocked off, it looks pretty good. So Walbro says SDC. I'm trying to see if there's any other markings on here that I can use to order a repair kit, because I am going to need one. This is patent pending. Isn't really much on there. Oh wait, well, what's this one? It says it is SDC, let's see, a SDC 5-7968A. So I think those are the numbers I was looking for. So at this point, there isn't much else that we can do. I gotta wait for the repair kit to come in. So I'm gonna clean some of this stuff, get some of this gasket material off of here, and then just blow out some of the water that was in the ultrasonic cleaner out of this thing, just so that once I get that repair kit, we can get back to working on this. So hopefully in the next couple days, I'll be able to get that repair kit, and it's probably just gonna be a few seconds for you guys. So I will see you then. And it's about a week later, we are back. I did receive our new repair kit. There are some parts that won't be used, so I put them back in the bag. I've already laid out the ones we need. Just doing some quick looking through. As you can see, that is the old one compared to the new one. And then this piece right here, the other piece is underneath it. So there's the gasket, and then this is the diaphragm for this piece. Now, there will be in the kit, there's two versions of this. There's a thicker one and a thinner one. This one uses the thinner one, so make sure you plan out and use the correct ones. Also, I am replacing every single one of the metal hardware, which is sitting over here. One thing I did fail to remove on this are the Welch plugs. I'm going to go ahead and remove them right now because I have two new ones. The reason why is I believe on this one right here, there is a very tiny screen. Here is the punch that I've got that I'm going to use to seat these Welch plugs. It is tiny, so don't lose those. There's also a retaining ring that goes right next to it to hold it in place. So let's go ahead, let me get some gloves on, and let's go ahead and put all those parts back on. Little did he know, he just done did messed up. I had to cut out real fast because I made a mistake, and hopefully it didn't ruin this. We're still going to put the repair kit in here and see if it will start up, but what happened was, you probably saw as I was drilling into that Welch plug that it popped forward. Well, the drill bit actually went right through the screen and it hit the jet that was right behind it. And the jet looks like it's made out of maybe some hard plastic or rubber. I'm hoping I didn't destroy it. I'm hoping that it will still diffuse and push out and run the unit. We'll see what happens. I've still got the screen. It actually got blown away, and I'm letting it sit over here on a piece of it's over here, sitting on a piece of paper drying out, and I can clean it off. I'm just hoping I did not ruin that jet. But let's keep on putting this thing together. That's one of those little warning things. I made a mistake. I'm letting you know what I did. Don't make that same mistake yourself. Maybe as you're pushing with a drill, or don't even use a drill, maybe use a very small punch and then pry it out like I did. Just be very careful, especially on these ones. So let's keep moving on. So there's our completed carburetor. Apart from my little mistake, hopefully this thing works. Let's go ahead and put it back on the snow thrower. It's been a few days since I put this back together, so I think that's how those bolts go. There wasn't really any air filter on this thing. I'm also going to replace the fuel hose. This is some pretty expensive stuff. It's called Tygon. I've been reading about it, and apparently it is nearly impervious to most fuels. So I went ahead and got some of that stuff, as well as a fuel filter. Go ahead and show you. Here's the package of it. That's the part number. I got it off Amazon. I'll put a link in the description for it. But let's go ahead and reinstall this guy. All right, so we are primed. We got fuel in the lines. We also got a little bit of fuel in the tank. Let's go ahead and just give it a pull and see what happens. So I got that on. All right, here we go. There really is no prime button on here or anything. We just have to pull. May also help if I pulled the choke. Ow. It's the high side. We'll give that one a little turn out. We'll also do the same with the low. There. I'm also going to cheat a little bit. Yeah, it's still dry. Throw some starter fluid in here. Oops, missed. I also want to make sure this right here stays, because I still have it somewhat jerry-rigged. Just put it back through there. All right, stay. All right, let's give her a go again. Half choke, maybe? Oh, you know what? let's actually plug in the spark plug. That is a good sign. That is awesome. The exhaust leak. That is sweet. Started up on the first pull after I plugged in the carburetor, or plugged in the spark plug. Probably needs a little bit of adjusting on the carburetor, but it did sound actually really good. So I'm going to call this a success, even with me having that mistake. So it is actually running. All right, well, now we got it running. Let's go ahead and put this back on and see what it does. I'm curious to see the difference of its running after we adjusted that carburetor. I think, what is it? Goes like this. Oh, yeah, like this. There we go. Curious to see what those do with it running. Just give those a little bit of an adjustment. All right, let's see what happens. Well, let's try it again. I was playing with those adjustment screws while off camera. Maybe I did something. Let's just adjust them out a little bit. Oh, looks like it needs that adjustment a little bit more. Especially with the load on it, it's going to be wanting to pull more fuel. All right, let's try it again. That's an issue. So when I shut that off, but at the same time, there's probably so much built up carbon in here, it's probably combusting itself, combusting in here. So I might have to run something through it. But for a vast majority of what I've done, it runs. So I'm happy with that. All right, shall we try it one more time? This time with the top on. Whoops. Just do it about a half choke. Sweet. Starts up, turns off. That's all I needed it to do. Well, hopefully you like this video on this guy. That was a little interesting, especially with my little mistake with the carburetor, but it still runs. It does leak a little bit, but I'm not too worried about that right now, but I think I got this thing for 40 bucks. So, I don't know. At least it runs. And I'll be able to use this, well, when it snows. It's not snowing here. It's actually 60 degrees, which is a far cry from what it was last weekend, which was around 20. And it did snow in the middle of that while I was waiting for the carburetor repair kit. So if you liked what you saw, feel free to subscribe. I do more like this. I don't know if you guys noticed them, but there are two of these little guys waiting to get repaired. So those will be coming up pretty soon. So thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe. I also did write up an Instagram, so if you guys want to follow that thing, it'll be in the description. So take care, guys. See you on the next one.